Feature.
.blogspot.com.
Thank you for listening to the official YouTube page of Midnight Triple Feature. Please, while you listen, head over to midnighttriplefeature.blogspot.com. You can check out past shows, reviews, or link up to social media where we can keep in touch. Thank you for listening. Welcome to this edition of Midnight Triple Feature. We're going to be going over 2014's Bloodshed, directed by Patrick Hansen, Juan Carlos. It was written by Patrick Hansen also. Here to do that is Adam.
Hello.
Jeff's here.
Yo.
I'm Mike.
Alright, so let's do a quick synopsis here. This is off IMDB. It says a homeless loner moves into a self-storage facility for searching his past. Doesn't even make sense. Whatever. But soon he realizes that this place is being haunted by a deranged female ghost. I guess that's it. Ghost kills people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that because I don't know. I said it had a 3.1 on IMDb.
Yep.
Alright, that's out of 263 users. Alright, so I picked this movie. It was like picking a movie out of a hat. I was just on Redbox and I was like, yeah, let's watch that. Not realizing that it was another storage shed movie. We just did a fucking storage unit movie. Budget for this movie was $2 million. So I just want to kind of talk about the story here because, so it's basically like all these homeless people are living in this shed.
You want to run the trailer? Maybe it'll help a little bit.
Yeah, alright, yeah, let's run the trailer.
I actually watched this story.
Hey, you're not supposed to be here after 9 p.m.
My watch says 8:50, baby.
This is not a hotel.
What's in that black box?
I thought you'd want a memento of our loving family.
Jezebel, are you with us?
You want to sleep in shed?
Can I be with you?
Now you can stay all night.
Devin? I see you.
Alright, so that's a trailer for Bloodshed. Now, so basically you have all these homeless people that are living in storage units. And there's this dude that owns a storage unit, and he doesn't like that anybody's living there. So apparently to punish them, he locks them in. Rather than kick them out. Like, wouldn't you... This is one of the first things that didn't make sense to me. So this guy's all pissed they're living in there, and he's like, well, fine, you guys can stay here all night. Oh, yeah, good. Because that's what we want. Isn't that what we're trying to do? Stay here all night long?
Why didn't he just walk through, check to see what locks were off, and then bang on the door and make them leave?
Right. He knows there's they have couches and beds and shit in these units. He owns, right? I know you're not supposed to go in the units, right? Even if you're the owner of the facility, I don't think by law you can enter someone's storage unit unless they don't pay or whatever. Isn't there a thing with that?
I have no idea.
Being evicted from a hotel. Or
I think so. Yeah. So yeah, it's like an eviction because that's why they find dead bodies and shit because they've been in there for years and no one can enter it till it goes into default. Well, but, I mean, go ahead.
That's part of the storyline.
Yeah, but it's.
And I had a huge problem with the storyline.
Well, what is the storyline?
You know, the note I have is weak storyline and hard to follow at times.
Yeah. Well, they don't establish anything in the beginning. All they show you is this guy sleeping in a car, and then he calls some dude on the phone.
Well, he gets a key, and the guy he calls was his brother, right?
Yeah.
Stepbrother.
Yeah, because he was adopted.
Right, that's right. He was adopted because we have all the other stuff. Are we going to spoil or not?
I try not to.
We'll try not to.
Yeah.
So, this guy gets a key to this locker, and the whole thing is there's this ghost lady, demon, living in the storage facility?
Yeah, underneath it. Like a psycho ward or something?
Yeah, they said there was a psycho ward underneath it, but then the girl behind the counter said that it used to be an orange factory. So,
yeah.
Well, it's kind of, I mean...
But is she a ghost?
No,
I don't think
she's a...
Chupacabra?
Maybe. Some witchcrafty thing.
Succubus? She's not a succubus because succubus would sleep with a guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's another thing that makes it a weak storyline is they don't show you how she gets to be that.
No, they don't. And if they do, it's just not clear. Like, it's something like voodoo?
Yeah,
or something?
I mean, they did give you a brief...
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't make
visual on
you
that.
never know how she comes back. Like, we know her motive, I guess. But, you know, the whole thing with
How the hell
son.
she end up in the fucking storage
That's,
shed?
I don't know.
That's
It doesn't make any sense. They never explain it. The guy,
So I told you the storyline's weak, man.
well, and that's why I had a hard time with the whole movie, because I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on, you know? I don't know.
Alright, so we're trying not to do any spoilers.
We're trying not to, I mean...
It was redundant, if you think about it, because she knew something about this dude that would have ended the movie.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And another question is, okay, so, and like the characters themselves, right? So then you've got this girl that works there. Now, is this the first time that homeless dude went in there?
Which one?
And she immediately wants to bang him?
Yeah, I thought that was weird, too.
Because, how, okay, so there's a girl working in a storage facility, right? That's her job. A homeless guy walks in.
And she wants to bang him.
Like, her first instinct is to just, like, hook up with him.
But then she tells him that she's not loose.
Yeah, I know. But then when he turns her away, she gets all pissed off. That didn't make any sense to me. Like, it all seemed forced. Like, they had to have some way, I guess. She didn't need to be in the movie. I don't know why she was there. But they needed, like, some way to make her be there. And her way to be there was she wanted to screw him.
Well, she helped him by leaving the key for him.
Yeah, but why, you know?
So he could get in and try to open that black box, which...
Yeah, it makes no sense.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
And the real missing link is that we just don't understand, like we said, why the demon lady, whatever the fuck she is there. How she got there. None of it makes sense.
How about the dude that didn't speak?
Well, you know who he was, right?
Yeah.
Was he the husband?
You can't say that because it's going to spoil it, because that's the whole plot of the movie.
Yeah, see, so you missed that. See, like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that clear. Like, I only got it because I felt like they kept showing it again and again and again.
It was like they forced you to pay attention to that one guy.
Yeah, so then eventually you're like, all right, I know who that is. And then you realize how it all ties in.
Couldn't he have just been a regular old guy, though? I mean...
Well...
Not if they wanted the storyline to work they wanted it to.
Right. He had to be there.
He had to be there.
It just doesn't make sense. Is it like she drawing these people there? Like, because what are the odds that those two guys would both end up there? Like, she's the one that sent him the key, right? Even though she's a ghost?
No.
No, the brother sent it.
I thought he said he didn't. I thought when he was on the phone with him, he's like, I haven't talked to you in a year. I thought the whole thing was that he didn't send it.
Oh, okay, maybe I missed that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Like, I thought the whole thing was that the key showed up mysteriously, and he didn't know how it got there. So then my thought was, the demon ladies... Why else? Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. Like, why the other guy would be there, why he would be there.
Well, here's the other thing. If that's the case, how did all that shit get into the storage shed? And who paid for it?
I don't know. The demon lady?
Nobody knows.
I know, as we dig deeper into this movie, it's plainly a very poorly made movie.
Yeah, well, it's poorly, it's
poorly written.
But it actually kept my attention.
Well, yeah, because
the black dude and the Asian chick.
The visuals were great.
Yeah,
the visuals were great.
Yeah, the black dude and the Asian. You're right. Yeah,
I like they were.
I actually liked them too.
They were enjoyable. I like that.
I
mean, and then you have every kill on this is off screen. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Which doesn't bother me, but show me an aftermath of the kill.
Yeah, I agree, because then I had an issue of, like, is that person really dead? Is he not dead?
Yeah, that's what I think, too,
it's established in the beginning that she takes people and brings them to the basement.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't give the spoiler.
Well, it depends.
First lady that was pregnant.
Yeah, she takes... We can say that, 'cause it's the very first scene.
Where'd she go?
She takes that pregnant lady down. So at that point, I'm like, well, clearly she takes people, and they establish that she wants a pregnant person. So, like, when people are disappearing, you're like, well, maybe they're not dead. Like, there's another character that disappears almost near the end. We just find out that they're dead. Like, she has the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wait, did she kill him, or did the demon kill him? Because that was really sketchy. Like, she shows up with a ball. Like, normally in a movie, like, Okay, so like one character goes away with another character, right? One of them comes back, and they're like, oh, they're dead. So they died. Usually that person killed them, not the demon thing. Usually, like, they're somehow connected.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were.
I'm gonna go back to...
What happened to the pregnant lady? She's skittering out. I mean, it's obviously
she got away or something. I don't know. That's why she needed another one, because she was looking for another one.
Yeah, but they don't even show her escape. They just they show her in the tunnel.
And there's an awful lot of pregnant people in this movie. Like, there's 2 pregnant people, and there's only like 10 characters or something. So 2 out of the 10.
And
out of like 4
statistics show
women,
2 out of 10 people are pregnant.
Yeah, and 4 of the women, half the women in this movie are pregnant.
I'm gonna go back to I don't know what you call it, a hypocrite. Yeah. No, not a hypocrite. Like
a cliche, a trope.
You remember when we did the other storage movie unit, and you had a problem with them breaking the rules, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I got a problem with when you kill off screen and you don't show me anything.
Yes.
I always assume that the person's still alive.
That's my point. I assume
horror movie cliche.
Right.
You don't.
Well, that's why,
kill,
like, when the other character goes away with her and she comes back with the ball and she's like, he's dead. Like, another cliche in my head.
What?
Okay, so the young kid gets I'm gonna say right now, the younger kid gets taken away. Remember, like, the homeless dude, they all get knocked out.
Yeah.
And then the girl gets taken to the redheaded one that wants to bang him.
Yeah.
And he meets up with her later and he's like, where's so-and-so? The kid.
Boy.
Not little kid. And she's like, he's dead. And she has, like, that little ball in her hand.
I thought you said bong. I'm like, I never saw a bong in this whole movie.
That was a minor spoiler, but who cares?
Yeah.
But, like, that's what I'm talking about.
Bad.
Like, that scene to me, I really thought at that point that the redhead was in on it. Because, like you said, it doesn't make sense. Because you never showed me the body, and you never showed me who actually killed him. So in my mind...
She didn't have a clue.
Why did she get out alive, but he didn't? You know, like, usually that means that there's some sort of twist. No twist.
You know what? If they showed him, like Mike said, it would have solved a lot of problems.
Yeah. Well, it would have at least made it... You at least would have seen something.
So
you wouldn't have thought that there was just a whole fucking horde of homeless people in the basement, which is what I was starting to think.
And is this real? Like, do people really live in storage units?
That's what it said in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, but is it real? I should have looked this up.
I would imagine
it is.
I would imagine it is, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal. I'm pretty sure you can't do it.
Check Uber Facts.
Which is weird. You should be able to. I don't see why they would make
renting it.
Yeah, it's your space. Why couldn't you live there?
Because it's not housing.
It's a health hazard.
Yeah, I guess, but like...
Especially being in, like, in L.A., because it's got to be hot as shit there in the middle of the beach.
How do you define living in a space, though? Because, like, I'm in my workspace for 9 hours a day. So if I go to my storage unit for 9 hours a day and then leave for the rest, am I living there or not?
Yeah, but see, you're comparing the cost for renting a unit to store stuff as compared to a unit to live in. They probably only pay $150
Right, but what
I'm
saying is, wouldn't my argument be like, I'm in there for 9 hours a day going through my shit. I'm not there 24 hours a day. I don't live there. So you go there for 9 hours, shut your fucking storage unit door, sleep, pull the door up 9 hours later, go outside, walk around because you're homeless, you got nowhere to go. Probably pick up cans and shit, and then or go blow dudes in an alley, whatever you do.
Wear blue wigs and shit.
Yeah. And then you go back, like, you know what I'm saying though? Because that's weird to me. How could you prove that somebody was living?
Well, no, I mean,
if it's a 24-hour
then
storage,
a lot of them are.
You should be able to get in there.
I mean, if you just had a blanket and a pillow in there, but when you got it all decked out with people in the beginning with lights and TV,
that was pretty freaking cool, dude.
Yeah, I was about to move out of here.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute, how much does that cost? Because that's a pretty good
deal. It's like $20 a week.
It was all comfy. I mean, they were getting cozy there too. It was comfy. They had a microwave.
They had enough money to buy drugs.
They got groceries. They brought groceries back. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, the mother and the kid, they were like sleeping on the floor with like one blanket. They were doing it wrong.
But they had the fucking deluxe bar. They had like
I know that
it was fucking huge.
I know it was huge. It made no fucking sense.
It was
That was a big storage unit too, because they had like 5 floors or something.
Yeah, it was big.
But it didn't look like that from the outside.
It didn't. No, and it didn't actually feel that way on the inside either. Like they would say, "Oh, well, we got to check." When they were trying to find a way out, right? They're like, we got to check all 5 floors or whatever.
Yeah, we got to go up, and then we got to go down. Well,
and they're like, oh, now we're on the 4th floor. Now we're on, and it's like, well, it doesn't really feel that large of a place, but you're supposed to think it's large. It doesn't quite pull that off.
Yeah.
All right, you want to move on to dialogue in this movie?
What about it?
It sucked for the most part. There's just random conversations that if you took out like half the conversations, like with say the prostitutes,
right,
half the conversations with the little boy and his mother. I mean, you could have cut this movie down by 15 minutes.
Right. Or what you could have done is we had all these issues with the story. Is you put in plot exposition. So instead of having dialogue, just random dialogue, you put dialogue in their mouths that explains what's going on.
Yeah,
which is what movies are supposed to do. They're supposed to give you.
Yeah, it's like a filler.
The characters are supposed to tell you what's going on naturally through conversation. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen, which leads to confusion. So, yeah, the dialogue should have been written so that it better suited the story.
Yeah, I shouldn't say the dialogue was bad, right. But even with the main character, Gabriel, what's his name? Especially with Gabriel, him, it was just every time he talked, I just hated it. I hated the way he talked.
Made you want to punch him right in the nose.
I also didn't like him, though. I also didn't like him.
Yeah, I didn't like him either.
Although I didn't really like... I actually, like Jeff said, I liked the prostitutes better than probably anybody else in the story.
Yeah, they had the most interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Don't you be messing with my weed now.
Yeah, they were at least, they were at least kind of likable, and, that dude was a complete downer, man. Like, I get it, he had seizures and shit, and that sucks, and you were adopted, but from the looks of it, he was better off in the family he was probably adopted to, because his... we see what happened, and that was probably a pretty fucked up family to have been staying in anyway. But he's like, I don't know, he's always sad. He's kind of like Charlie Brown. Like, he's never...
Charlie Brown.
You know what I mean? No, it's like, wah, wah.
Out of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. The guy never smiles. Like, even when the girl, like, wants to sleep with him, he's just like, no. It's like, no wonder you're homeless, man, because you're...
I just want to clarify, too, not that I'm a lawman or anything, but when he pushes the owner against the wall, and he says, don't ever touch me again, and then the owner says, I'm going to have you arrested for assault. Have you ever heard of assault? That's not assault.
Right.
That's battery, because he touched him. Assault is verbal. Battery. Assault says if I say, I'm going to kick your ass, and then I hit you, that's assault.
Right,
I thought it was battery when you actually say something to someone.
No, battery is if I hit you. If I hit you, that's battery. Assault is just a verbal and then an attack.
Right.
That's why it's assault and battery.
Right.
So you can be arrested for one or the other. So if I say, "Oh, Jeff, I'm gonna kick your ass," and then I punch you, that's assault and battery.
Right. So
that's why
I'm
gonna kick your ass. It's just assault.
It's just assault.
When you have like domestic disputes and the husband hits the wife, a lot of times it's just battery.
It's just battery.
Probably because he wasn't like, I'm going to hit you. He probably just did.
He just did. Yeah.
There was no hesitation.
I mean, not saying that's a good thing. Just saying that fine lines of
No, you're just saying you watch a lot of cops.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of battery on there. So I think, the dialogue wasn't that it was bad. It's just that I just think it was pointless. You know what I mean? And the actors probably didn't help it. They were fine, but...
Yeah, the Russian dude, though, if you think about it, he really did act his part.
Yeah, I actually, I didn't mind
that guy. He acted like
a
sleaze, and he wanted you to hate him.
Yeah, but if I was him too and people were fucking living in my storage, I'd be like, yeah, fuck you too. But I wouldn't have locked him in there. I would have kicked him out.
I don't know. Would you have fucked with him, though? Because that's what he did. He just, fucked with him.
Fucked with the homeless people?
Fucked with everybody in the building, you know?
No, I wouldn't have fucked with the homeless people. Go clean the toilet. You don't want to fuck with
It's a storage shed. What are you got to clean the toilet for?
Yeah, you go and watch the movie Street Trash, and you'll see you don't want to fuck with homeless people, man, because they're fucking weird.
Yeah.
Let me think. What else?
Let's see here.
Effects? Do you have anything about effects? The effects that were there. So.
Yeah, there were very few effects. They were pretty okay.
Yeah, like her makeup effects I thought were pretty good. Yeah,
hers were good.
Yeah. They clearly put a lot of time into
that. But the makeup on the kills wasn't
and there was like this weird scene where there's this woman in a tub and she's pregnant, and you could clearly tell it was a fake stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they didn't show much of it.
The stomach was like, it had to have been...
fucking huge.
Yeah! It was like her, like if she was laying on her back, her stomach was like taller than like where... Her face would it had to have been like 4 feet out.
Gave birth to a fucking adolescent.
Yeah, exactly. It was huge. That had to be like 20-pound baby. So that I was like, that's a really bad looking effect, and it didn't look real. It looked weird.
She had nice titties though.
Yeah, she had a nice body, which I mean, it's interesting too because she spends the whole movie naked, and I mean, yeah, it's nice, but it's weird.
I thought the actual effects inside the storage units, like every time, like certain lights would go off as she walked. That was pretty cool.
That was
I
good.
That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I liked
Added
that.
to the creep
Like
factor.
she blended in behind the people. She was almost like a part of the shadows.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff they did with her was the best stuff. You know, I think that they probably spent a lot of time figuring out how to make those parts creepy.
Yeah.
And they didn't spend enough time figuring out how to make the story make sense.
There must have been a time constraint with this movie.
There may have been, but they had $2 million, which $2 million isn't a lot of money.
Well,
but we watched The Night Before Easter, and that was $3,000.
The most of that money went to the Asian chick.
No, but actually, these budgets usually don't, to be honest, don't include cast. A lot of times when you see the production budget, it doesn't include salaries.
Is this a
So,
new?
like,
Oh, they bank on
When you see like a budget for the Avengers, and if you see a budget for say $400 million, that does not include salaries. So that doesn't include the salaries for
they
like Robert
bank
Downey
on
Jr.
what they're gonna make. After
Yeah,
the
it's
fact.
it's a separate line item. So like a movie that says $400 million might have cost them $600 or $700 with marketing and salary. So take that into account. Whenever you hear about a budget, you're gonna add a lot more because they don't include a lot. It's kind of crazy, but
Is this a new genre?
I don't know what this is.
Because I seem to be.
There's a lot of storage.
There's a lot of storage unit movies. Well, not a lot, but this is like the fourth one that two I've watched,
No,
and the
there
other two
are,
I've seen like as recommendations.
I'm thinking it's convenience. Okay, so
Yeah.
a lot of storage facilities are 24 hours, but I don't know if they're that hard to get. You know, like I'm assuming that the owners of these things are like, whatever. All the units are locked, so it's not like these people can get in.
And there's open ones, there's spare ones with nothing in them.
Yeah, and if they can get paid, you know, you use my location and pay me. I don't see why
Yeah,
not.
and most of which is inside, so it doesn't matter what time of day you film.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They can shoot overnight, and it doesn't matter.
It's got a creep factor to it.
Yeah, and they definitely can, if you use it right, there's a lot of, like, claustrophobia, small space type things that you can do.
They can also use fucking abandoned factories, too.
Right, yeah, it's right. I mean, yeah, because the idea of shooting a movie like this in a storage facility is good because you think about, like, the space, and they use it a little bit, like when she's coming down the hallway.
You can use the angles and corners.
But it's so cramped, so, like, you don't have anywhere to really go. You know, it's either forward or backward in these hallways.
Yeah.
So there is that whole thing of feeling claustrophobic, feeling cramped in the space. It could work if it's done right. I think they do it right sometimes.
Yeah. So
Other times, not so much.
What'd you think of the score?
What score?
He goes, what score?
Was there one?
It was there, but it was very
Honestly, didn't notice it.
there was a score.
Okay.
It was not used very much, but what was used was actually pretty good.
Was it good?
I don't know why they didn't use
I'm
more
not
of
being
it.
sarcastic. I didn't. Usually I pick up on scores. I
I
didn't.
Yeah.
didn't even realize there
Yeah.
was music in it.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of synth, and it wasn't bad, but
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, there wasn't that much. Well, we'll move on from that, and
He's like, well, since you guys didn't fucking hear it.
yeah, well, I'm not going to talk to myself about it. So, let's see. I have weak ending.
Hell yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
Without giving it away?
Yes. Incredibly.
I don't know. I got to give it a good ending.
Yeah, you like
In
it?
which,
Yeah, because they got out of there. The girl and the guy, they're driving to
Okay.
Arizona.
right.
And then all of a sudden...
Well, yeah. Well, okay, so with the ending, I'm going to talk about there's two endings. There's a twist.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And there's an
get the
ending.
Spoiler on
No,
that.
that you didn't.
No, not really.
It's not that hard to figure out that
It's a
someone's...
predictable ending.
You know who's probably going to live, and
Yeah.
they have that little twist. So
But it
you,
was
did
a
you
standard
like
ending.
Did you like the twist, or did you like the way that they
I like the way they
defeat the
closed it
ghost
out.
or demon? Like,
I
which
like,
part of you?
I like the way they ended it. It was a closeout.
I felt the final confrontation was weak. The way it all goes down.
Oh, yeah, that's what, yeah, exactly. It was really weak.
It felt really built up to this whole thing, to this confrontation. The whole story.
There should have been a battle.
Yeah, exactly. The whole story is building up to this final confrontation between this guy and the demon girl. And when it finally happens, it's really, it's kind of lame.
Yeah,
It just happens. It's
Yeah.
it's way too easy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too easy. And then the twist is fine. I mean, you had to see that was going to happen because, I mean, all right, so potential spoiler, but it's not really spoiler because she's like a ghost, right?
I don't think so.
She's not human.
No, she's demonic or something.
So yeah, so she can't die. It's not like a big shocker to be like, she's still alive at the end because she's not alive.
Yeah.
You can't, it's like when they kill Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street. Of course he comes back. He's dead. You don't kill him. He's a demon. He's not a physical being. He comes back because he's gonna die, and his spirit is still a demon or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it's not that surprising. It'd be like, oh my god, she's alive.
What they should have done was they should have taken the time in the beginning of the movie and did a whole segment just on her.
Yeah, they should have.
From start to present to give you an idea where she went, how she ended up where she was, and then boom, bring in the kid.
Yeah, I mean, they would have had to have intercut it a bit because you would have needed to be introduced to him earlier just because he is your main character. But I agree with you that you could have done a longer flashback because they like intercut.
Yeah, they
it's like
flash
a
back
scene here and there, a scene here and there.
You don't get much from it because, again, the storyline's so weak.
And they're trying to build some mystery, but I already kind of knew what was going on in terms of what her agenda was and how he was part of it. Like I knew that way before they gave it to me. Like, I knew who he was and why she was interested.
Oh, yeah, I figured that out way before that.
So it's like they built up to that like it was going to be some big surprise. It wasn't.
And it wasn't.
Right, that was like as big as a surprise in Hellride when they tell us 1,000,000 times that it's the gravestone or the fucking cross thing.
Yeah.
And then they try to make it like it's a big twist an hour in. Like, you showed us 20 times, but it's similar here. It was too obvious.
Yeah. All right, well, wrapping it up, I got one more question. Right. So I'm not going to say where it happens in the movie. Okay. But why the fuck does a mother stand naked in front of her own son?
Yeah, I know. Well, I hinted at that a little bit. Like, she's naked all the time. And
why?
I don't know.
That's such a weird thing to put in a movie.
Well, technically she wasn't really.
Wasn't what?
She was fully nude.
She was fully naked.
Didn't she have the freaking...
No, she had nothing.
Yeah, there's a scene where she's naked.
Standing right in front of him, talking to him.
Yeah, she's naked. Like, you see her tits. It's weird. Yeah, I'm with it. It's weirded me out, too. I'm like, that'd be weird. I mean, unless you, like... I mean, imagine, you want to know what would be...
She's from Jamaica.
Want to know what would be really weird? If that was you, but you didn't know it was your mom. And, like, so let's say your mom, but she's really hot.
We're going down a dark road here. Down a dark road.
Right, yeah. You're going to go in, like, old boy territory a little bit. Different than old boy, but similar premise. But you didn't know.
Creepier.
Yeah. Weird. And then you're like... Yeah.
Would you have gone down that road, Adam?
What do you mean? Would I have gone down if I knew it was my mom?
Know, or if you knew?
If you didn't know.
Most people,
obviously.
Most people would.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my point.
Yeah, you're right.
Most people, she knew, so it would have been fucked up on her end.
Yeah.
But she's already a fucking demon. Right. It doesn't matter.
On his end, though, he had no idea. So, like, if she, like, I was wondering at one point, like, is she gonna fuck him? Because that'd be really weird, but she didn't.
That'd be weird, but on his end, that'd be like, whoa, man.
Yeah, until he found out what was going on. He'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, enough of that.
All right, well, anything?
That's bloodshed. Forgettable for me.
Yeah. I'd give it a 3.5.
Yeah, out of? 10. Yeah, okay, I was going to say out of 5? Holy fuck.
Yeah, no. I'm going with IMDb on this one.
I'd go with a 4.
Okay.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go with, like, that
3. One held my interest.
I'll go with a 3. I do, actually, real quick before I go, I want to read this one little review that somebody posted on here because I thought it was kind of funny. It's quick. Somebody wrote, alright, so the title of the review is Absolute Rubbish. And somebody put, a complete bullshit movie with no originality. Frankly speaking, this movie doesn't even have a plot. True, right?
True.
Don't waste your time watching this. The poster came up like it's Evil Dead or something like that, but trust me, nothing but a complete haplessness awaits you after you've realized the movie has reached its finish line. Very bad movie. Question to the movie team. What's the message here? Why did you make this movie? Why does the mother appear nude in front of her son?
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
It's someone like a few boob scenes here and there, lousy acting everywhere. I don't know what made me watch this movie. Don't waste your time. You've been warned.
Wow, yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
But it's not that much different from what we were saying,
Yeah, it took us 30 minutes to do it, and it took you how long to do it fully? So.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that is bloodshed. Watch at your own risk.
Yep. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel through iTunes or Stitcher Smart Radio. And as always, you can find us on the web at midnighttriplefeature.blogspot.com, on Twitter at MTFeature, and on Facebook. And on Facebook. And on Facebook. And on Facebook.